Hello, I'm Arnold Smit, the newly appointed Head of Social Impact at the University of Stellenbosch Business School in South Africa. Now you may ask, social impact at the business school, why would that be? Are business schools not for business? Why would we talk about social impact from a business school point of view? Could we perhaps ask a different question? Namely, that business schools must also think at how they might benefit through the variety of their activities, society in general, and that is indeed the case when we talk about it. It has become really an important question for business schools, especially since the recession, about whether they do develop responsible managers that can go out into the world and deliver value beyond just the circles of business, but also value that will eventually benefit society as a whole and all its institutions and its various communities. This is especially also important because of the fact that we do live under the big question mark about the sustainable future and how we as a humanity, together with all our institutions, will be able to create together a future that is more sustainable than the world that we know here right in present, as where we find ourselves today. We could also look at this matter from the perspective of Agenda 2030 and the Sustainable Development Goals that have been accepted at the United Nations in September last year. So how do we translate this when we get to USB, and what do we do around here? For us, it is important that the topic of business in society, or social impact if you wish, that is actually part and parcel of the mainstream of what we teach, of the research that we do, and the way in which we develop the skills and the knowledge base of the managers and the leaders that we produce for the future of society. So this is where it starts. It starts with an academic program across all of our curricula here at the business school itself. Secondly, it is about the voice of the business school, the public voice of the business school, the things that we attend to, the conversations that we get involved in, the way in which we help to shape public opinion about various societal matters. And it doesn't take much to realize the concerns that we actually see around us in terms of social justice, inequality, poverty, corruption. I can name quite a lot more. It is not just about the public voice of the business school, it is also about those projects that we engage ourselves in directly, the way in which we contribute value not just to the business sector, but also to the societal sector. If we talk around here about a small business academy, various programs for non-profit organizations, leadership development programs for principals and deputies of schools, entrepreneurship, skills development, specifically on the executive education side of the business school, then we cover quite a wide spread. It also doesn't help us much if we work all on our own. We really also want to relate in what we do to what is happening elsewhere, not just the partnership schools that we have relationships with, but also broader global organizations such as the Globally Responsible Leadership Initiative that we are a partner of, the Principles for Responsible Management Education that we subscribe to, the work of the accreditation institutions that we also, in terms of the 3 accreditations that we carry, and in this particular case, especially so EQUIS and the AACSB, the way in which we incorporate that into our teaching, our research, and also our institutional life. Then we also need to say, apart from these networks, that it will not help us if it all stays within the realm of academia. We are privileged here at Stellenbosch Business School to have an executive education company, USB Executive Development, working quite closely together in partnership with USB as we develop and present programs that carry this agenda into businesses, into the public sector, and into the social sector, not just only within South Africa, but also so beyond the borders of our country and into the rest of the African continent.